Right then, petrolheads, today we're swapping our love for engines and wheels for something a bit more buoyant and serene. Today we're ditching the horsepower and taking to the skies, embracing the gentle and majestic world of hot air balloons. But not in anything you'd find at an ordinary airfield, no noisy engines or crowded runways here. No, today we're talking about hot air balloons. These colourful giants of the sky have been capturing hearts and imaginations for centuries. These majestic giants of the sky have been captivating imaginations for centuries. Floating gracefully, they offer a unique perspective of the world below. It all started way back in 1783 when those clever clogs, the Montgolfier brothers, first took to the skies in France. Their invention was nothing short of revolutionary. They figured out that hot air, being lighter than cold air, could lift a fabric bag. This simple yet profound discovery laid the foundation for modern ballooning. It's basic physics really, but revolutionary at the time. Imagine the excitement and wonder of seeing something so large and colourful take to the skies for the first time. Their first passengers, a sheep, a duck and a rooster. These brave animals were the pioneers of balloon flight, paving the way for human passengers. Talk about a high-flying farm trip. It must have been quite the sight to see these animals floating above the ground, experiencing the world from a completely new perspective. Luckily for them, and the future of ballooning, the journey was a success. This successful flight marked the beginning of a new era in aviation history. From those humble beginnings, hot air balloons have come a long way. Over the years, they have evolved in design, size and purpose, becoming a beloved activity for many. Nowadays, they're used for everything from leisurely flights over stunning landscapes to competitive races across continents. Whether for adventure, sport, or simply the joy of flight, hot air balloons continue to inspire and amaze. So what goes into making one of these incredible contraptions? Let's dive into the fascinating world of hot air balloons and uncover the secrets behind their ability to float gracefully in the sky. Well, you might be surprised to learn it's not all that complicated. The process involves a combination of science, engineering, and a bit of artistry. The basic components are the envelope, the burner, and the basket. Each of these parts plays a crucial role in making the balloon fly. The envelope is the big, balloon-shaped bit you see up in the air. It's the most iconic part of the hot air balloon and comes in various colors and designs. It's made from a special type of nylon fabric that's both lightweight and strong. This fabric needs to be durable enough to handle the rigors of flight and the intense heat from the burner. These fabrics are carefully chosen to withstand the high temperatures from the burner and the stresses of flight. They undergo rigorous testing to ensure they meet safety standards. Speaking of the burner, that's the bit that makes the magic happen. The burner is essentially the engine of the hot air balloon. It uses propane gas to heat the air inside the envelope, causing it to rise. The heated air inside the envelope becomes less dense than the cooler air outside, creating lift. Think of it like a giant kettle, boiling the air to make the balloon float. And finally, the basket. The basket is where the passengers and pilots stand during the flight. That's where you and I get to enjoy the ride. It's designed to be sturdy and safe, providing a secure place for everyone on board. It's usually made from wicker, which is surprisingly strong and flexible. Wicker is chosen because it can absorb some of the impact during landing, making it a practical choice. Plus, it provides a bit of cushioning in case of a bumpy landing. So the next time you see a hot air balloon floating gracefully in the sky, you'll know the fascinating science and craftsmanship that goes into making it soar. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty of how these things are actually made. The journey from fabric to flight is a fascinating one, filled with precision, skill, and a touch of magic. First off, the fabric for the envelope is cut to size using a giant template. This template ensures that each piece is perfectly shaped to fit together seamlessly. Imagine trying to wrangle that much fabric. It's a bit like trying to fold a fitted sheet, but on a much larger and more important scale. The workers have to be incredibly careful to avoid any tears or misalignments. Once the fabric panels are cut, they're sewn together using super strong thread and industrial sewing machines. These machines are designed to handle the heavy-duty fabric and ensure a tight, secure stitch. The seams are double and triple stitched to ensure they can withstand the immense pressure the hot air creates. This step is crucial for the safety and durability of the balloon. Next up, the burner is mounted to the frame and the basket is attached with super strong cables. The burner is the heart of the balloon, providing the hot air needed for liftoff. Then comes the fun part, inflating the balloon for the first time. This is when all the hard work starts to pay off as the balloon begins to take shape. It's quite a sight, watching it slowly rise and take shape. The fabric stretches and expands, transforming from a flat, lifeless sheet into a majestic floating vessel ready to take to the skies. Now, let's have a bit of fun with some hot air balloon trivia. Did you know that the largest hot air balloon ever built was the size of a football field? That's a lot of hot air. And get this, the average hot air balloon envelope can hold enough air to fill an entire house. That's one way to avoid the heating bill, but here's the real kicker. The world record for the longest hot air balloon flight is over 46 days. That's longer than some of my relationships. Just imagine over a month floating across the sky. You definitely need to pack a good book or 10. Before any hot air balloon takes to the skies, it has to go through rigorous testing and safety checks. These checks are vital to ensure the balloon is airworthy and that everyone on board will have a safe and enjoyable flight. There are inspections of the fabric, the burner, the fuel lines, and everything in between. And don't forget the all-important weather check. You wouldn't want to be caught in a spot of bother up there. Once everything gets the thumbs up, it's time for the real deal. Climbing into the basket, feeling the heat from the burner, and then that magical moment when you lift off the ground and gently ascend into the sky. It's an experience like no other. But the story of hot air balloons doesn't end there. Oh no, the future is looking even brighter, or should I say lighter. Engineers and balloon enthusiasts are constantly pushing the boundaries, developing new materials and technologies. We're talking about lighter and stronger fabrics, more efficient burners, and sophisticated navigation systems. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll be able to cross oceans in luxurious hot air balloon liners. All right, maybe not oceans, but a chap can dream, can't he? There's also a growing movement towards eco-friendly ballooning, with some companies experimenting with biofuels and solar-powered burners. It's fantastic to see this iconic mode of flight evolving and becoming more sustainable. So there you have it, a whistle-stop tour of the wonderful world of hot air balloons. If you're ever lucky enough to get the chance to experience a flight for yourself, I urge you to grab it with both hands. It's an unforgettable experience and you'll be walking on air for weeks afterwards. Just remember to pack your camera, your sense of adventure, and maybe a spare pair of trousers, just in case you get a bit lightheaded from all the excitement.